The truth about demonic possession. They say possession is the work of demons, ancient forces that invade the human soul, twisting the mind and corrupting the body. But what if everything you've been told about it is only part of the truth? What if possession is not just a curse, but a message, one that few dare to understand? In the ancient world, possession was not always seen as an attack. Some believed it to be a form of divine communion, a merging of human consciousness with forces beyond our comprehension. Others saw it as a battle between the self and the shadows within, unresolved emotions, unhealed wounds, or the whispers of forgotten ancestors. So what is the true nature of possession? Is it really an invasion by dark entities? Or is it something far more personal, an internal reckoning with forces that dwell within? In this video, we will uncover the origins of demonic possession, tracing its roots through history, religion, and esoteric wisdom. We will reveal how ancient shamans, mystics, and exorcists understood possession, not as a supernatural horror, but as a spiritual test. And most importantly, we will explore ways to protect, understand, and even transform this experience into a path of awakening. The truth is not what you think. It is far more mysterious, far more complex, and perhaps far more liberating. Are you ready to see beyond the veil? Historical and philosophical context. To understand possession, we must first strip away the fear-laden narratives of modern religion and return to the ancient world, where spirits, gods, and unseen forces were not just believed in but actively engaged with. In many indigenous traditions, what we now call possession was often viewed as a sacred experience. Shamans of Siberia, the oracles of Delphi, and the voodoo practitioners of West Africa all spoke of states where an individual's body became a vessel for something greater. But was this truly possession, or was it communion? Consider the oracles of ancient Greece. These women would enter deep trances, allowing divine forces, sometimes described as gods, sometimes as ancestral spirits, to speak through them. To the people of that time, this was not an affliction but a gift. Similarly, in Haitian Vodou, the lowest spirits enter the bodies of devotees, guiding them, offering wisdom, and sometimes even healing. Yet, there is another side to the story. Many traditions also spoke of entities that did not come with wisdom or guidance, but with chaos and hunger. In Christian and Islamic texts, we find countless warnings about spirits that deceive and manipulate. The Gnostics, however, took this even further. They claimed the entire material world was under the control of the archons, entities feeding off human ignorance and suffering. Could it be that what we call demonic possession is simply one form of interaction with these hidden forces? Even Carl Jung, one of the most profound thinkers of modern psychology, hinted at a deeper truth. He spoke of the shadow self, the part of us we reject, suppress, and fear. And when we ignore it for too long, it takes over in ways that feel utterly foreign, as if we are no longer in control of our own minds. Could it be that many so-called possessions are not external at all, but manifestations of the subconscious, rising to the surface in terrifying ways? The deeper we go, the more we realize that possession is not a simple matter of good versus evil. It is a doorway, one that can lead to enlightenment or destruction, depending on how we engage with it. And that is why we must go further. But before we unveil the core truth behind possession, take a moment to support this channel. If you find value in these explorations of the unknown, like this video and subscribe. The path ahead is filled with secrets, and together we will uncover them. Now, let us step into the heart of the mystery. If possession is not always an external attack, but sometimes an interaction, or even an initiation, then the real question is, who or what is truly in control? Ancient esoteric teachings suggest that the human soul is not a singular entity, but a complex structure with many layers. Some parts of us are conscious, while others remain hidden, submerged beneath layers of conditioning, trauma, and forgotten experiences. Possession occurs when something, whether external or internal, takes hold of these hidden layers and begins to steer them. In many cases, possession follows a pattern. The whispering phase, it often starts subtly. A change in thoughts, intrusive emotions, or an unshakable feeling that something is watching. People who experience this stage might believe they are simply going through stress or depression, unaware that an external force may be influencing them, or that a repressed part of their psyche is trying to surface. The encroachment, this is when the force begins to integrate itself. Sudden urges, uncharacteristic behaviors, or even drastic personality shifts can manifest. In spiritual traditions, this is often described as the feeding stage, where the entity or unconscious force gains strength by latching onto emotions, especially fear, anger, or despair. The merge or the battle. If left unchecked, the force either takes full control or reaches a breaking point where a struggle begins. This is where we find historical accounts of exorcisms, shamanic soul retrievals, or profound awakenings. Some who endure this battle emerge transformed, stronger, more enlightened. Others succumb, losing their sense of self entirely. What determines the outcome? Awareness and willpower. Possession, at its core, is a game of sovereignty. The stronger one's sense of self, the harder it is to be overtaken. This is why spiritual masters across all traditions emphasize discipline, meditation, prayer, fasting, or ritual, practices designed to fortify the mind and spirit against unwanted influence. But there is another side to this. Some possessions are not meant to be fought, but understood. Consider the concept of divine possession found in certain mystical traditions. In Vodou, Hindu Tantra, and even early Christianity, there were those who willingly allowed themselves to be taken by divine beings. This was not considered corruption, but purification, a temporary surrender of the ego to something higher. So how do we tell the difference? A destructive possession drains, isolates, and confuses. It thrives in secrecy, chaos, and fear. A transformative possession expands awareness, reveals hidden truths, and ultimately strengthens the individual. The real danger is mistaking one for the other. Practical application. If possession is a loss of control, whether to an external force or to our own unexamined shadows, then the path to freedom lies in reclaiming our sovereignty. This does not always mean forceful resistance. Sometimes, true power comes from understanding, integration, and transformation. There are 3 key approaches to dealing with possession: recognition, resistance, and reclamation. 1. Recognition, seeing the unseen. Before anything can be cast out or transformed, it must be seen for what it truly is. Many cases of possession go unnoticed because they masquerade as ordinary emotions, habits, or intrusive thoughts. The key is discernment. Self-observation. Pay attention to your thoughts and behaviors. Are there sudden urges, fears, or compulsions that feel alien? Do emotions arise that seem out of place or exaggerated? Not every dark thought is a possession, but unexplained patterns can be a sign of external influence. Dream analysis. Many spiritual intrusions begin in the subconscious. Recurring nightmares, shadowy figures, or oppressive dreamscapes may indicate something trying to gain access. Energy awareness. Have you ever walked into a place and felt an immediate shift in your mood? Entities, both human and non-human, emit frequencies. Learning to sense these shifts through meditation, breath work, or simple stillness can reveal when something unseen is at play. 2. Resistance, fortifying the self. Once recognized, the next step is reinforcing your energetic and psychological boundaries. Most possessions do not happen overnight. They creep in through weak spots in our defenses. Strengthen the mind. A strong mind is the best shield. Practices like meditation, mantras, and focused breath work create an internal clarity that is difficult to penetrate. In moments of doubt or fear, repeating a powerful phrase, such as, "I am sovereign in my body and mind," can immediately shift the dynamic. Protect the energy field. Spiritual traditions across cultures emphasize purification rituals. Whether it's burning sage, using salt, chanting prayers, or taking cold showers, these acts are not just symbolic. They recalibrate the energy body, removing unwanted influences. Emotional mastery. Entities and shadow forces feed on emotional chaos. The more one masters their emotions, through detachment, self-awareness, and grounding techniques, the less appealing they become as a host. 3. Reclamation, turning darkness into light. Some possessions cannot be banished because they are not external at all. They are parts of ourselves we have abandoned. The greatest trick of possession is convincing us that the intruder is not us. Shadow integration. Carl Jung spoke of the shadow self, the aspects of our psyche we suppress. Often, what appears to be a dark force is simply a neglected part of ourselves screaming for recognition. Facing these aspects directly, through journaling, guided meditation, or therapy, can neutralize their power. Negotiation, not war. In some traditions, rather than banishing spirits, shamans and mystics speak to them. They ask, "Why are you here? What do you want?" Sometimes, what we call possession is an ancient contract waiting to be fulfilled, or a lesson we refuse to learn. Spiritual alignment. The most powerful protection is not in fighting darkness, but in embodying light. When one is deeply connected to their purpose, their higher self, or their spiritual path, lower entities simply cannot take hold. They operate on different frequencies. The more we align with truth and clarity, the less susceptible we become. Possession, at its core, is about power. Who holds it, who gives it away, and who takes it back. And now, you have the tools to reclaim it. Throughout history, possession has been feared as an invasion, a theft of the self by forces unseen. But as we have explored, possession is not always what it seems. It is not merely a battle between good and evil, but a test of sovereignty, a confrontation with the unknown, both within and beyond. We have uncovered the truths that many overlook, that possession can be caused by energetic weakness, karmic ties, or even an invitation. That not all possessions are destructive, some are initiations, opportunities for transformation. And that the true danger is not in the presence of an external force, but in misunderstanding its nature. The greatest power one can wield is self-awareness. The ability to stand firm, to recognize what is foreign and what is simply forgotten, to reclaim one's energy and sovereignty. This is the true path to mastery. If this exploration has sparked something within you, if it has challenged what you thought you knew, then there is more waiting for you. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications to continue unraveling the hidden mysteries of existence. Like this video to help others find this knowledge, and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever experienced something that felt like possession? Or have you battled forces that seem beyond your control? Remember, darkness only holds power over those who fear to face it. True freedom lies in understanding. Until next time, seek truth, stay aware, and walk your path with power.